Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, and we are specifically going to talk about the "I'm here too" character and what it means in narrative. All right, so specifically, I watched a big screen piece of content, and I watched a small screen piece of content, and I saw the same character in two very distinctly different settings, and I was like, why are these characters here, right? And so let me explain what the two characters were, and then we're going to talk about the "I'm here too" character, and then we're going to talk about being Narranauts and determining why that happened, right? All right, so let's talk this through. Okay, so first of all, let's define exactly what we're talking about. So I watched Batman Brave and the Bold on Max, and that is a fantastic animated show. If you haven't watched that and you're a dungeon master, you have to watch it. If you haven't watched that and you're a dragon master, you have to watch that. It's absolutely brilliant. It's really fantastic. So it was in season 1, and there was a story about Commandy and Gorilla Grodd. So it's Commandy versus Gorilla Grodd. Of course, Batman is there because it's Batman Brave and Bold. He's there in every episode. But the story is essentially about Commandy. Fantastic. Such an incredible character in DC. And Gorilla Grodd, one of the best villains DC's ever had. I'm a huge fan of Gorilla Grodd, and he's a real sleeper. You don't see him in a lot of material, but I'm a huge fan. I really like Gorilla Grodd a lot. And so the story is there, but also in the story is Dr. Canis. What? Why is Dr. Canis here? And you watch the whole episode, and Dr. Canis is literally standing in the background in every shot that Commandy's in, and he's just reacting to everything that's happening. And there's no point. There's seemingly no point to him being there. He is not driving the plot. He's not really. Everything he's doing is being done. Everything he could possibly be doing is already done by Commandy. There's no point for him to be there, right? But this is also interesting. I'm not upset. I'm like, oh, that's Dr. Canis. Like, what? Why is he, and I'm actually delighted to see him there, but my whole time I'm like, why is he there? There seems to be no point for him to be there. And throughout the entire show, he could just be saying, I'm here too, right? There's another great example of this in Hamilton, the play, and Peggy. Like, it was just like, then the other example I want to tell you about is I just saw Godzilla, and actually no spoilers for any of the content I'm talking about here, but there's this character, Godzilla X Kong, the new empire, right? There's this character named Bernie, and you're like, why is Bernie here? He's, they actually spend time for the main character to go get him, and then he goes with her, and then they go to the world. And it appears that he does nothing but just react outlandishly and frightened and in a frightened manner at everything that they encounter. And you're like, why is Bernie here? What was he brought here to do? This character serves no purpose here, right? This is fascinating, right? So this and at first I was tempted to say this is a Shaggy issue, but Shaggy is actually not like this. Shaggy has a very distinct purpose. Shaggy is symbiotically connected to Scooby, and so he's not really a "I'm here to" character, right? He, like, without a doubt, Mystery Incorporated, would not be the same show without Shaggy. So that's not the same. So we finally arrived there. So what are these "I'm here to" characters here for? Okay, and this is my point, and I apologize because I'm the answer guy, right? You come here and I'm like, here's the question, here's the answer. I don't know the answer to this, but the reason we're talking about it today is the answer is important, and we cannot give up on it. And the answer is one of the fundamental reasons why Dungeons and Dragons is so important, okay? We are the new Narranauts. We are the only Narranauts in the world now, right? What is a Narranaut? A narrative astronaut, right? Astronaut goes into space, right? We explore into narrative itself, the Narranauts, right? I'm looking at this and I'm like, what is the function of these characters, right? And I wanted to, just kind of put forward an answer or say why, but I'm like, there's something here that we're not understanding, right? And this is the point of this video. Thank you for your patience getting there. There's something here. It's not seen. The answer is not yet known, right? We are narrative first contact agents. Dungeon masters go into spaces where no other narrative method has ever been able to do, right? Authors, incredibly limited. Screenwriters, incredibly limited. Video gamers, I'm not sure they can even make art. I don't really, almost the lowest form of artistic creator, and I think I'm being generous saying they're artistic creators. So there are all these ways that we tell narrative, right? And on February 7th, 1974, Gary Gygax changed human narrative forever and said, yes, you're going to create a story in your mind, and then you're going to sacrifice it to the direct interaction of the people who are experiencing that story in real time. And pay attention, and fate itself will intervene on both you, the Dungeon Master, and the Dragon Master, right? So we are now in this space where we can craft new questions, and we have the equipment, right? We have the vehicle has come with us, right? And the Dungeons and Dragons has self-selectedly become this space where, just like astronauts are the best of the best, Dungeons and Dragons is simply it's a space program for the best intellectuals in the world, right? The people who are most charismatic, confident, intelligent. And I'm convinced that this is a very important question, right? And the reason why is, a lot of times these characters, the Bernie character, right, in Kong X, in Godzilla X Kong, the Dr. Canis character, right, in Batman Brave and Bold, Gorilla Grodd versus Commandy, right? They serve no narrative purpose, but they're also very realistic in that when we go on real adventures in real life, this very much happens. There's always somebody who's like, I'm here too. And you're like, why? What purpose do you serve? But I think if we persist, and we now have crafted the question, and if we persist as Narranauts, we can land at an answer for this. And I think there's a profound truth, a profound wisdom that is waiting for us to unlock. Fellow Narranaut, thank you for letting me share these concepts with you. And I want you to know that every word you just heard is my humble opinion. And what's important is when I get to hear your humble opinion. When you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.